Hi, Mrs. Connolly. Hi, Mrs. Egan. So today I will be baking brownies for you guys. And while I do that, I'm going to be talking about the Swing, obviously, by Fragonard. And for the lit, I will be talking about A Modest Proposal by Jonathan Swift. To start off, we're going to melt our butter. So I'm going to take a cup of butter and go ahead and melt it. So while I am preparing the butter, I would like to take the opportunity to tell you guys about a highly anticipated piece of art, the Swing. During the time the Swing was painted, the French King Louis XV wanted art to be more youthful. It was a prosperous time for the aristocrats. They owned 90% of the wealth of France. They wanted to spend their wealth on luxurious items that looked good, and Rococo was their answer. The art movement was very playful and light-hearted. I'm going to go ahead and put in the microwave with 30-second increments, and I will be right back. So right here, I am making espresso for the brownies. And as I do that, I will be talking about a very famous painting of the Rococo movement, The Swing by Fragonard. It depicts two lovers playing out a scheme they planned, where the lady got an older man to push her on the swing. As she swings back and forth, her skirt follows suit. Because her partner hides in the bushes as her skirt rides up her leg, he'll get a look of what's under there. Very scandalous, if you ask me, which shows that it is a product of his time because it's really playful and really lighthearted. Something that draws me in, too, is the colors. The pastel colors Fragonard uses emphasizes the dreamlike aspect. The pale colors feel very light and airy, giving the painting a whimsical feel and a sense of youth. The painting was designed to impress, and I sure am impressed with this painting. Looking at the Swing, I feel like I'm lost in a new world. Sometimes you just want to look at something nice when the world around you is rotting to pieces. The painting shows a couple having a good time, not socially distancing, and it reminds me of my kindergarten. Definitely not because someone's looking under my skirt, but because it was a simpler time where I had constantly had fun. I didn't have to worry about anything else other than which slide I'm going to go on next. The recipe I'm using today is not mine, obviously. Okay, so now we're going to start off and crack some eggs. Okay, so I'm going to start off by cracking 3 eggs. And just to show off, I think I cracked the eggs with one hand. Oh, wait for it. There we go. One hand. I'm just so cool. And then I'm going to whisk it. We're going to go ahead and use our scale. Adding 200 grams of sugar. While I take forever to measure out the sugars and other ingredients, I'm going to talk about A Modest Proposal. The essay was written during the Age of Enlightenment. Unfortunately, it wasn't really enlightening for the Irish. The English exploited the Irish legally and economically. They demanded taxes that the Irish couldn't afford and raising the prices of goods. On top of that, Mother Nature wasn't empathizing with the Irish. There was a famine going on too. The Irish were very poor and living in the worst of the worst conditions. Jonathan Swift was fed up and wrote A Modest Proposal to shame the Irish and the English into change. Swift uses literary devices of satire to get his message across. Satire blends criticism with wit to expose the wicked behavior of human society. Satires hopes that their works may improve what is being criticized. In Swift's case, it's the poverty of the Irish and the ruling of the English. A quote from A Modest Proposal is, "I believe no gentleman would repine to give 10 shillings for the carcass of a good child, which, as I've said, will make 4 dishes of excellent nutritive meat." Swift describes the children as food, calling them fat, nutritious meat. The Irish are willing to sell their children to the rich for a few shillings. Swift is satirizing the conditions that the Irish are in.
because they're so poor and are so desperate of money, he's trying to say that they would do anything for a few shillings. Later in the section, he says that selling and eating these children will solve their overpopulation and unemployment problems. Swift then continues to satirize female Catholics for having too many children, the Irish famine, the mistreatment of the Irish people, and lastly, the Irish for not being able to defend themselves against the English. Using satire, Swift was able to raise awareness to the problem. He has written a perfect example of what a good satire essay is, and it inspires me and others to create satiric pieces to combat current issues that I see every day. Currently in the United States, the president doesn't have the approval of most of his citizens because of the way he has acted and his unuseful responses to the COVID-19 pandemic and the Black Lives Matter protests, as well as other issues America is facing. It has been broadcasted all over social media, and I have stumbled upon a satiric TikTok talking about the president. It is a parody of a birthday song, since the president's birthday is coming up. And here it is.
Here's my birthday video to President Trump. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, you racist, narcissistic, ignorant, homophobic, sexist, fascist, bunker-hiding bigot who I hate with every atom of my being. Mr. President, happy birthday to you.
Here's a video of me cutting the brownies with a ruler because I wanted everything to be nice and perfect. Anyways, don't worry, the ruler was sanitized, and yeah. Okay, so now that I've finished baking the brownies and everything's done, I decided to treat myself with a little bit of ice cream on top with a little bit of, obviously, chocolate syrup, duh. So I didn't have an ice cream scooper, so I just used a spoon, and you can see me there like struggling to get a. That was really satisfying. Anyways, yeah, I didn't have another spoon, so I used my own hands. Really nasty. But you know what? I'm the only one eating it, so we're not gonna talk about it. And then I was like, that's not enough ice cream. Let's go for another one because there's no such thing as too much ice cream. So there's me putting another scoop, well, like half a scoop. So anyways, there's me using my fingers again because I don't have a ice cream scooper. Oh, and this is really satisfying. This chocolate drizzle. I'll let you guys look at this. Now that's a really pretty brownie. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope that you guys like the brownie that I baked for you. Anyways, have a nice day, and I hope you have a good summer. You guys are the best. Bye!